Hello everyone. The purpose of this training video is to show Promise Fellow supervisors step by step how to review timesheets of their members once they're submitted and how to approve or reject those timesheets. My name is Jade and I am a Promise Fellow leader at the Alliance, but for the sake of this video, I have created a fake Promise Fellow member, a fake supervisor account, and a fake timesheet. So, now we're going to start from the email that you will receive when a Promise Fellow submits one of their timesheets, and it will show you this link that you will follow to log into Encore. I will enter my test information. Alright, and then once you're in, as you can see, I've been playing with this timesheet a little bit, so the timesheet history will look different for your member. Alright, so this was the timesheet that I submitted to my quote-unquote supervisor for approval. So we're just going to go through and look for any errors and make sure that everything makes sense. And just so you know, this timesheet starts on October 1st, so I am pretending that this is a Promise Fellow member that started on October 1st. So if you see some like Alliance webinars and Small Core Training 1, you might wonder why the dates are different. We're pretending that this member started later. So we'll start with descriptions. So I already see an error for Monday, October 2nd. They said they attended the welcome webinar with the Alliance. Now that should be counted as 1 hour of training, but it was included in service. So that right off the bat is an error that will lead you to reject this timesheet and check in with your fellow and have them fix the errors. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Going down the list. Tuesday the 3rd looks completely fine. So does the 4th. And here's that Small Core first training that I talked about. That's under the right category. All of this looks good. I won't read it all. No descriptions on the weekend. Makes sense. Alright. So it makes sense. Now, here we have some more training. They were reviewing training materials and resources provided by the Alliance. So that checks out. And then for the 11th, now here we have another problem. They served 8.5 hours, but their description says they were at the site. Now obviously that is way too vague. It's great that they were at the site, that's good to know, but we don't know beyond that anything. What were they doing? You know, we need a little bit more of a description. The rest of these descriptions are about the right length. We don't want it to be too wordy either. We need, you know, to be brief enough, just enough information to know what the fellow was doing when. So that is too vague, so you would also reject this timesheet for that reason and ask them to supply a little more information there. And then another thing to keep in mind is on the 12th, they only racked up 6.5 hours for that day, which you could wonder about depending on how the rest of their 2 weeks in this timesheet looks. But for this time, I wouldn't be concerned with it just because the week before they have an 11-hour day and a 9.5-hour day. So for me, it would probably mean that they served less that day because they knew they served extra hours the week before. But that's on a case-by-case basis, so you might want to check in with your fellow on that. It's up to you. If you're already comfortable with it and you knew what the plan was, then that would be fine. And then also the 13th looks good too. So yeah, so there were just a couple errors in here, but that's enough to reject this timesheet and ask the Promise Fellow to fix those errors. Another thing you want to just check in general is their total number of hours in this pay period. And it switches every other, like some pay periods will have 11 days in them, some will only have 10, this one only has 10 working days. And so this Promise Fellow did an average of 8.5 hours each day, which is above, you know, the minimum of 40 hours that we ask for. So this Promise Fellow is doing great. They're right on track there. And then another thing you want to check is you need to check when this timesheet is being submitted. Now, obviously, my time is off. I submitted this morning, and this is a timesheet that's due in the middle of October, so it was submitted over a month early. So this isn't the best example, but you want to make sure that your Promise Fellow is not submitting their timesheet until after all of those hours have been served. So this timesheet would be due on the 16th, after they've served on Friday and after the weekend has happened. So make sure they're not submitting it too early. That is a very big thing. And then just in general, make sure you can verify or attest to their hours in some way, because you are putting your name on the line when you approve this timesheet, saying, yes, I do understand where this promise fellow was when, what they were doing, and I can verify that. So yeah, so I, in this case, would go ahead and say I do not approve this timesheet. They need to go in and make some changes. In this description box, we encourage you to just write "see me" and then check in with your fellow. We don't want a ton of description here because this is a permanent record. So we recommend that you just write "see me" or something very brief, and then check in with your member about the fixes that need to be made. So I'm just going to write "see me." Uh-oh. And then I will submit that. Sorry about that. Alright, so then it says this timesheet was rejected, and so then an email will be sent to that member saying, hey, your timesheet was rejected, and that will prompt them to try to set up a meeting with you. So I hope this was helpful. It's very basic. Let us know if you have any other specific questions, but that is the process for reviewing and rejecting or approving a promise fellow timesheet. Thank you.